David Martin Shoebridge and Lee Rhiannon, two well-known Australian politicians and former senators, have denounced India for continuing its brutal and illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir and for depriving its people of the right to self-determination that was promised and guaranteed by UN Security Council resolutions. On October 27th, the 75th anniversary of India's illegal occupation of the region, two Australian politicians, both from New South Wales, spoke out in a special video message to show their support for the Kashmiri people. They criticized the international community for being indifferent to India, which has a history of committing human rights violations, including destroying property to muzzle the voices for freedom. Supporting the people of Jammu and Kashmir as well as the expats in Australia and around the world for observing the day as Black Day, and also trying to make the Australian government to realize its obligation to raise the attacks on Kashmiri people in all of its engagements with India. This is what Senator David Shoebridge said.
Today, the 27th of October, marks 75 years now since India illegally and forcibly took control of the states of Jammu and Kashmir. And since then, the Indian occupied forces have committed repeated human rights violations, including the destruction of property, the killing of innocent and unarmed Kashmiris, and the ongoing suppression of political voices and the rights to self-determination. The day is correctly observed as a Black Day by Kashmiris because it's a day of mourning for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the diaspora here in Australia and around the globe. The Australian Greens acknowledge the rights of the peoples of Jammu and Kashmir to freedom and self-determination, to chart their own path. We also acknowledge and support the work of the diaspora to continue to bring attention and awareness to this ongoing human rights crisis in Australia and beyond. And let us not forget that Jammu and Kashmir is one of the most highly militarised parts of the planet, an appalling state of ongoing military occupation. The Australian government therefore has an obligation to raise the attacks on Jammu and Kashmir in all of its diplomatic engagements with India. This is about Australia speaking truth to power. It's about speaking truth to our friends and acknowledging the universal rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir to the basic human freedoms and rights that we enjoy. So today we speak in solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And hopefully it's not just myself as a Green Senator, but there is a growing movement and a growing number of politicians and democratic representatives from around the globe that say that this ongoing tragedy will not be forgotten, and that the human rights and the self-determination of the people of Jammu and Kashmir must be on the international agenda.
Lee Rhiannon, in her video statement on the day, urged the international community to globally remember those who were killed and suffered heavily at the hands of Indian occupation forces in the territory. She also voiced alarm about claims that the Western powers have effectively supported the Modi government by ignoring obvious crimes in order to get India's backing in their conflict with China. What else did she say? Have a look.
We gather together today to mark Kashmir Black Day. I believe it is very important that we collectively remember these anniversaries. We must honour those who have died and those who have suffered, and recognise that the international community has a responsibility to stand with the people of Jammu Kashmir. On this day, October 27, 75 years ago, Indian troops came to Jammu Kashmir. They perpetrated shocking crimes as they imposed settler colonial rule, effectively denying the people their right to self-determination. Innocent Kashmiris were killed, properties destroyed, and ugly atrocities committed. We also need to note that this barbarity perpetrated by the Indian military forces has significantly increased since August 2019, when the Modi government suspended the special status of Jammu Kashmir that had previously been recognised under the Indian Constitution. On this anniversary, I think we need to acknowledge the state of global solidarity with Jammu Kashmir. I believe more people are learning about the plight of Kashmiris, and that is a big plus. However, human rights abuses against the people of Jammu Kashmir are on the rise. This is not just because India maintains about 900,000 troops in this region. The Modi regime is effectively being propped up by Western powers, willing to ignore the blatant crimes being committed in order to cultivate a major trading partner. The crimes being overseen by the BJP government are also being ignored, as the West is keen to secure the support of an ally in the West's confrontation with China. There are worrying reports that the USA government is in talks with the Modi government to secure land in Ladakh where they could operate a military spy base to target China. If this happens, local people will suffer. The threat of war could engulf the region. Today, Kashmir Black Day, is an occasion to reiterate our commitment to stand with the people of Jammu Kashmir and to step up our international solidarity to help build a mass movement that will help put pressure on Western powers to speak out about human rights abuses and advocate for peace with justice in this region. This is the path to help Kashmiris achieve the right that all people should enjoy, the right of self-determination. Building or just speculating about military cooperation is not the solution. Thank you.